the most space.
Fuck off. Oh shit, that's quite. We're streaming now, so we're going onto yeah, we're on the big wide world web, so keep the chatting to zip.
Interwebs.
Oh, jeez, I think I've lost my audio. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We'll jump out.
Yep.
How many we got? 12 drivers, good enough. Don't know where. There's Tully in Mind Racing. Danielson has disappeared. Nemo's nowhere to be seen. And that's it. Oh, hang on. I'm missing one cunt. That's right.
Okay. So we just...
The A-team.
The A-team. I'll make a new party invite. You and Righty in. Give us a sec.
Yep.
Right, good luck, Trev.
Alright, thank you.
Start it up when I press ready, I guess.
Yep.
Cool.
Right.
Any last minute questions? No, all good?
No, and
Sweet.
any last words? No.
Any last words? Alright, catch ya.
See ya. See you
Hopefully
guys.
it's not wet. See you, mate.
See ya. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. That's right, it's that time of the week again. And we're back for another SRL night of action. And tonight, it's the F1 2019 F2 practice round. The first practice round for F2, of course. And it's great to have everybody's company here tonight. And thank you to your comments. They're already coming in on the live stream tonight. And we're in for a cracking night, and Brad and Cart Dude up and about on the comment section already. And it is quite the turnout tonight. I think we've got a dozen or so drivers, possibly more. Driving pro, we've got some new names, some old faces, and it's going to be an absolute ripper here tonight. We're racing at Canada. And the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, of course, and F2 cars tonight. And they are all identical cars, just down to a setup and skill and the talent, of course. Possibly the same thing. The qualifying format, 15 minutes tonight. Everyone will retire once there is 15 minutes remaining in the session. They will be able to finish their flying lap, of course, before the end of the session. F2 cars, of course, have no tyre blankets, meaning that the tyre warm-up will be important, warming up those tyres. The Super Softs can do 2 to 3 laps before losing time due to the tyre wear. And we've also got 2 races tonight, a feature race and a sprint race, with the feature race being 20 laps, a mandatory pit stop. The Super Softs will be quicker, but the expected lifespan of those tyres is between 5 or 7 laps. And then, of course, we've got the yellow mark soft tyre with an expected lifespan of 16 to 18 laps. And the tyre wear, very crucial. So if you see someone sliding around, then you know their tyre wear can almost be double than someone not sliding around. So very important tyre strategy, how you use your tyres in these F2 cars. A little bit more difficult to control than the F1 cars, of course, which go a fair bit quicker, and they're almost sort of planted to the racetrack. As we load it up here, the beautiful Gilles Villeneuve circuit, like I mentioned, in Canada. And what a turnout. We've got Cart Dude, the Hef, Alex, my good friend Alex, who's a regular on the live stream as well. And talking about the format for tonight, I'll just finish on the format we've got here tonight. Of course, race 2, the sprint race. The grid is set by the results of race 1, and the top 8 from race 1 get reversed. So P8 in race 1 starts on pole position for race 2, etc., etc. As we see the pit lane here and we wait for the drivers to come out on to the circuit. You can see in the top left-hand corner of your screen a 30-minute timer. But like I said before, that will be actually 15 minutes rather than 30. And then we'll be able to go racing And this race, 14 laps, the second race tonight. No mandatory pit stop, unlike the first race. And once again, tyre wear will be crucial. So get ready for some ripping battles here tonight. As I can see somebody coming out of the pit lane there and onto the track here tonight. And who have we got? We've got Big Donga 619, who's coming out on to the track. And we'll just get some telemetry up. We can't get the speedo and the gears and the top speeds up on the right-hand corner or the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. For some unknown reason, it just doesn't like it with these F2 cars. But we'll do the best we can as we ride on board with Big Donga 619. Not to be confused, of course, with Big Dick Jono, who is also in the party. It sounds like he's in this party too. I can hear some noise happening there. But we see the cars come out on track for the first time. As Brad on the comments says, looking forward to the race. It's all about the driver and not the technical advantages like the F1 cars are all about. And get well soon, Brad, of course, who joined me in the commentary box last week, who cannot join me tonight, unfortunately, due to illness. But we do wish you a speedy recovery, and a man who's very handy in all cars, let alone just the F2 cars, but the F1 cars as well. So it's great to have your company here tonight. And if you want to get involved in this championship, and indeed any championship in the Supreme Racing League, don't forget to head to www.supremeracingleague.com.au. I think that's the website, but I haven't been on it for a while, so we will check that and confirm that throughout the course of the evening. Several drivers now. Enough about me waffling on. All the wall of champions there you can see. Big Donga 619 just getting friendly with the wall of champions as he starts his first flying lap. And I've got to tell you, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, and we see Alex coming out onto the track, trying to steer well and truly clear there of Big Donga. But might have just put Big Dong off a tad as he got the rear end of that car stepping out through the first couple of corners. But it was Big Donga who set a really quick time in the practice session prior to tonight's actual race. And the back end steps out. Commentator's curse there once again, striking. And I reckon he's done. We might just keep flicking through the order and keep it interesting here. Driving Pro, he seems to be on a quick lap. We might just keep flicking through. We got told last week that we need more on-board footage. But that was wet conditions last week, of course, in Belgium. So we've got Elmer Jacko, who's been good enough to join us. It's been a long time since I've raced against Elmer Jacko, or had the I don't think I've had the pleasure of calling him at all, but he's here tonight as we take a look at which tyres, the best tyres, the fitted tyres there. You can see the super soft tyres and the soft tyres tonight. The two compounds, like we said, tyre wear, very crucial for this race tonight. We might just go to the broadcast cam. We might just keep flicking through the drivers. Jason Wilkinson is still in the pit lane along with the Hef. And I think Crumpkin might have crashed out there. His name is greyed out. So we lost a few drivers last week, but that, like I said, those conditions were pretty bad. As Big Donga setting the first quick lap of the session. We were riding on board with him just a moment ago. He's gone with a 129.404 ahead of Driving Pro. So those times will tumble. No doubt about that. As this track, 14 corners, plenty of famous corners, including none other than the Wall of Champions, the Casino Straight. Great opportunity for passing in these cars, heading into the final couple of corners, the final chicane, as we see Driving Pro going off the circuit there. And I reckon he might, I don't know whether he might have picked up a penalty for that. Fastest lap now, 121.0 to Fubbles. Espi WAU, he'll always be Fubbles to me, let me tell you, but he set a quick time, 121.0 ahead of Elmer Jacko, who's just gone quick there with a 122.718 HSV, putting in his quick time. So we're starting to see times tumble here tonight. And how good is this as HSV? Oh, that's not too good, is it? No, it's not, Dean. Just getting the rear end out of that car, and that will spoil any further chance he's got possibly on this set of tyres. And that brought out a yellow flag in Sector 1 as Big Donga has gone even quicker now into the 120s with a 120.793 with 9 or so minutes remaining in this qualifying session. And everybody watching tonight, get your comments in. We will read them out. We'll give you a shout out. We'll do all that. So most drivers now have come out onto the circuit. Driving Pro, Wilco, the Hef, Crumpkin, who I believe is out of the session, but we'll get somebody to confirm that with us here tonight. Big Dog Jono, otherwise known as Big Dick Johnson, is in the pits along with Righty, who's also yet to set a quick time tonight. And Cart Dude there just going a little bit quicker. We saw times in practice into the 1:19s. So if you're sitting at home thinking they're the quickest times we're going to see, you are very much mistaken, because those times will tumble before in the remaining minutes of this session now. So Cart Dude, 1:20.4 there. And we're just going to flick through these drivers. 1:20.793. to ahead of, or behind, I should say, 3/10 behind Cart Dude in P1. And then it's Fubbles with a 1:21. First of the 1:21s, Elmer Jacko there, 1:21.993. As Brad, having some internet issues watching the race tonight, says, I love it when my net decides to drop out while I'm trying to watch. And, well, just make sure that you get all your cords and cables fixed up before the race tonight. We've got about 7 or 8 minutes remaining in this session before the first of the 2 races. That's right, how good are these F2 cars? Just mixing things up. It's great to see them in this game. And the feature race, 20 laps tonight with the mandatory pit stop, like I mentioned, as Jacko, we see on your screen, coming in to the pits. Alex there. I think he may have crashed out of the session. That's what usually happens, as someone is just calling me on the phone. I'm going to have to ignore that. Apologies for that, everyone watching. As, geez, I should really... people should know that I'm live streaming between 8 and 9 on Thursday nights. And I'm just going to put my phone on mute as we see the rest of this qualifying session play out. HSV now coming, I thought he was going to come into the pits there, but he comes around past the wall of champions. Is he on a hot lap now? He's 4 seconds off of pole position. Can he improve? Yes, he does. He goes into the 1:21s with a 1:21, I should say, .904. And there we have it. Just, would you please stop calling me? I tell you what, I'm a popular man. No one calls me. They decide to wait until Thursday nights before anyone can call me. But let's have a look. Oh, off into the wall there, HSV. That is going to damage his car, I reckon. It's he's brought out a couple of yellow flags so far in this race. But no, you can see there just on the live stream there, that contact as he lets the Hef through. And Brad there saying, would have loved calling this with you, mate. Bummer that a hospital visit and a cold has taken me out this week. Not to worry, Brad. It's still good to have you joining us tonight as a viewer rather than a commentator. And boy, that was a crazy race last week. And Dino is into the wall and he's doing a bit of the Harlem Shake there. Look at that. Jeez, I tell you what, the camera angles, it's doing the spaz. That's going to give me a seizure if I stay on that. So we're going to have a look at Cart Dude with a 1:20.358. So Cart Dude has gone even quicker again. And that is going to be a hard time to beat. As we see some of the drivers, Cart Dude retiring from the session as well now. And Big Donga, what can he do? We might just stick with him through this last part of the lap to see whether he can improve on his time of a 1:20.793. And I've got to say that he's just got to find 4/10 on this lap to possibly go ahead of Cart Dude. As we've got 6 people watching the live stream, great to have your company, each and every one of you. He gets a good exit out of the final corner. And can he find the time he needs? He needs a 1:20.357 or better, and I don't think he has, or indeed he might be starting his final hot lap there as we go through the order. Big Donga 619 in second, Fubbles in third. HSV retired from the session. We saw that accident on the stream there. Elmer Jacko, what's he done? A 1:29.993, just fractions behind his mate HSV. Alex has retired from the session as Driving Pro is well down, almost 7 seconds off of pole position. Can he improve? No, he doesn't on that occasion. And Righty there with a 1:36.5. We'll just see if he can improve on this time. As you can see there, no issues with traffic, or is there going to be? Here we go. So we've got Righty there Coming across the start-finish line now, and he does improve. He goes to a 122.770 there. And Dean had a pretty big moment. Oh, look at this, the two teammates. I reckon that might be Big Dick Jono. And no, it's not, in fact. It's we've got big, yes, it is actually. I beg your pardon, Big Dick Jono. And Righty, I think it was having that moment there as we ride on board with them yet again. And Jason Wilkinson, he says, try this one on for size, and sets a 119.3. And that just comfortably takes pole position, as Brad just saying, be on the lookout for Jason and his lap. And I was a bit tardy there on the cameras. I do apologise about that. But Wilco there setting a quick time, and Big Dick Jono, I'm going to get those two mixed up tonight. It's actually Big Donga, I beg your pardon, setting a 119.7. Still not good enough to beat Jason, though, with a 119.5. And he has spun off now as we take a look down the order. Anyone else on a hot lap? Hef there, who's a couple of seconds behind his good mate Jason in provisional pole position. Like we said, this race, or this qualifying session, only 15 minutes. And I know it still says there's 18 minutes to go, but we will be finishing up after 15 and heading to the first of our two races tonight, feature race and a sprint race. One 20 laps and one 14 laps. So keep an eye out for plenty of action tonight. 12 drivers, that's right, 12 drivers joining us this evening, which is an incredible turnout. I think we had 8 last week, possibly 6, half a dozen or so the week before. So like we said, this is the first. We're going to have a couple of practice rounds, F2 this week, possibly F1 next week. And then we will get into the real stuff of a brand new SRL season. And as long-time viewers of this channel will know, we've covered Project Cars, we've done F1 2018 and the other games. Now we're on to F1 2019. And more importantly here, can anybody beat Wilco? That is the question with a 119.5. We've only got 2 drivers in the 119s at the moment. As you can see there, the Hef trying to go quicker, coming through the middle part of the lap, and Elmer Jacko retiring from the session. And I guess he's either crashed out or he's committed suicide there. And a bit of hurry-curry. I probably shouldn't say suicide. I'll get in trouble here on the live stream. There's no one to tell me to shut up, so we could experience some censorship issues. But here comes Hef down the back straight, the long run down the back of this Gilles Villeneuve circuit, the Casino Straight, heading towards turns 13 and 14 in the Wall of Champions. And he's just steering clear of the Wall of Champions as Wilco goes even quicker. And I've missed that lap again. Boy, Wilco's not going to be happy with me, is he, when he watches this one back. But there we go, Hef, 121.4, still not good enough to get onto the second row of the grid. And, well, I think this might be the last run that we've got here for Wilco. And we might just stick with Wilco a bit, just in case he decides to go quicker, which he has done twice already. And you can see there he's got the super soft tyres on. And everybody's setting their best laps on the super soft tyres rather than the softs. As don't be scared to get your comments in if you're watching this live stream, of course. We would love to hear from you and here tonight. And boy, Thursday nights, that's where it's at. 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time on the Kid Buyers channel. Don't forget, if you haven't already, I usually hate it when YouTubers tell me to subscribe or like their video. I usually don't. But I'm just going to tell you, if you feel like subscribing, please do so. We've got 1,092 subscribers so far. And if you feel like getting us to 1,100 even, that would be fantastic. There's a few seconds to go in this session, so everybody who is on a hot lap are able to finish this lap according to the rules, which I've been told about. And and Brad just saying there that he might need more, might need to renegotiate the contract and get more camera time as he comes into the pit lane. Well, I missed the first flying lap, Jason. I missed the second flying lap. And for anyone who doesn't know, this isn't like Project Cars. I'm actually controlling the cameras as well as shitting on and talking to you. But I might just quickly flick through and see if Big Dick Johnson has any more in the tank here in the final qualifying run and it's only 3 drivers still left out on the circuit. 12 drivers started this qualifying session, 3 remain, and this will be their final run. As we'll just follow Big Dick Johnson, somebody off there, righty, I think it is. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, but we'll stick with Big Dick Jono, who's going to be the first of the remaining drivers, I should say, to cross the line here tonight. And he comes down the gears through 3rd gear. Could have been a little bit of a cheeky cut there, staying well clear of the wall of champions. Look at that, up to 5th gear, up to 6th, 270 kilometres an hour. And he does improve slightly, I believe, to a 120.7, good enough for the 2nd row of the grid. And what can Fubbles do? Here comes Fubbles now down through the gears, just using all of the track. He's stayed even clearer of the wall of champions there. And he comes across the line now, and a 121 flat for him. A 21.021, and that's good enough for 5th on the grid. And that is all she wrote in this qualifying session, as 8 people now watching the live stream. My goodness gracious me, it's great to have everybody's company. And if you're out there watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so. That's the last time I'm going to say it, people. Otherwise, I'll be very, very angry indeed. But as I say that, we've lost a viewer, but never mind. As Brad up and about on the comments tonight saying, I'm pumped for this race. Going to be interesting. Who can handle these cars the best? And that's coming from a man who knows how to work an F2 car on this game. In fact, he probably drives the F2 cars more than the F1 cars. But nothing wrong with that, of course, because these cars are fantastic. As 12 minutes, I'm just wondering whether Fubbles is having another run here, or whether he's decided to check the rule book, because everyone bar Fubbles has retired from this session. And let me tell you, I reckon he's not going to be very popular if he keeps going. And and you do prefer these cars, Bradley there, my co-commentator, of course, who's on the sick bed this week. And he's had a hospital visit. He's been in the wars, has Brad Marshall. But just wishing our New South Welshman all the best, all the very best. As finally Fubbles has been good enough to retire from the session. You can see his pit crew just retiring that car into the garage. As we take a look at the final qualifying results then on your screen. Look at that, 12 drivers. And boy, what a session we had. But it was Jason Wilkinson on pole position, just 2 tenths ahead of Big Donga 619. We said he was quick at the start of this session, and indeed he was. Then it's Cart Dude in 3rd, Big Dick Jono. Then it's Fubbles in 5th, Hef rounding out the top 6. Then it's El Majacco and HSV, the 2 teammates on the next row in 7th and 8th. Righty in P9, Alex in P10, a good friend of mine who doesn't live in Parramatta, I don't think, but we still love him anyway. Then it's Driving Pro, who was 6.4 seconds off pole position, and then Crumpkin, who raced last week and didn't do that great, but he's crashed out of qualifying, I think, and he was yet to, well, he didn't set a time in the session as we get ready to go racing. And you better go and get your cup of tea now, because this is going to be an absolute beauty, a feature race, 20 laps, like I mentioned. As I have a drink of water. Boy, I tell you what, it's hard when you haven't got a co-commentator. But anyway, we'll get by. I'm flying solo here tonight, folks. Super soft tyres and the soft tyres. So don't forget the strategy, the pit stops, the tyres, all going to play a role here tonight. And that is very, very crucial. Then after the first race, don't forget, time to stick around for race 2. And that is the sprint race rather than the feature race. And as Wilco has piped up on the comments saying, one more thing, any stops before lap 3 isn't counted towards the mandatory pit stop. So there you have it, the great man just laying down the rules. And as we get ready to get underway, you can see the tyre smoke there getting underway on our formation lap with Wilco, the man in pole position, leading Big Donga 619. Big Donga. Will this be an absolute ding-dong battle for the lead here tonight with Big Dong? And you can see what I did there. How funny is that? Cart Dude in P3, as we see no tyre blankets, like we said, for these F2 cars. So you've got to do all the warming up of these tyres on your lonesome. And Cart Dude in P3, Big Dick Jono in P4. As we go through the order, Fubbles there in P5, 6/10 off of pole position, then a huge gap of 8/10 back to the Hef, then Elmer Jacko warming up his tyres. Great to see Jacko in this race tonight, haven't seen him for a while. HSV, Dean McKinnon, the man from Parramatta. Was he from Parramatta? Where was he from? I can't remember. But we've got Stressed Budget Racing saying, might be a worry if Big Dick Jono and Big Donga go head-to-head. It certainly could be. And Stressed Budget Racing, great to have your company with us. We don't want to see the two Big Dongas going together, that's for sure. And Tangled Escape saying, dry race, lucky boys tonight. In pre-practice, it was raining, and it affected the race for Jason, Jacob, and your good self. As we keep going through the order here, riding in P9 for righty. And Alex Man, who must have done something naughty because he's gone. He's teleported back to the grid, and he's starting in P10. He might be on for points today. Same with Driving Pro and Crumpkin, in fact, who is still on his hot lap. But we'll go back to our pole sitter, Jason Wilkinson, who's strangely ghosted behind Cart Dude there. And it's all sorts of weird stuff happening here before we get underway here tonight. And 20 laps around this circuit. 14 corners, one of the most famous circuits on the racing calendar. But then again, I think I say that about every track. But it's still a great circuit. And we've got green flags waving, and we are ready to go racing here tonight. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Go! And we're away here for the first F2 race in Canada. Jason Wilkinson gets a good start ahead of Big Donga. Can't Dude and Fubbles has dropped a couple of positions early down the order there. As you can see, there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. And is somebody off at the back? I think they've all got through cleanly. So it's Jason ahead of Big Donga, Can't Dude. Then it's Fubbles, Big Dick Jono, HSV, Jacko dropping a couple of positions off the line as we stream through the first part of this lap. And let's ride on board now with Wilco and get a bird's eye view of what's happening behind him here. We might just try and get some more information there. We've got the telemetry, we've got everything we can available to you on the screen. As much information as what we can get here on lap 1 out of 20. And Alex there with cold tyres at the start, of course. That will not help Brad, as we see there Big Donga in P2. Boy, the new boy down the inside. What a move! Get out of here! You can't do that sort of stuff on lap 1. And the main man himself, Jason, not giving up. He stays in P1, but now look at this. Big Donga's going to have a run on him down the back straight, heading towards the last couple of corners of the Wall of Champions. This man down the outside. Wilco holds the inside line. Look at this. And Big Donga there, the rear end stepping out, so Wilco survives for another day. And my goodness me, Wilco there with the quickest lap. But boy, he had a scare there heading into the hairpin. Big Donga just saying, I'm going to sign, seal and send this one down the inside. What a move. And I reckon it's cost him though now. He's 1.2 seconds behind Wilco. But what a charge on this opening lap. And Brad, it certainly was a bit of a Ricardo dive bomb style there. But boy, oh boy, now Wilco pulling away at the front. But let's have a look further down the order. And Big Dick Jono there slotting into P3. Then it's Cart Dude further back, HSV, Fubbles, Hef there, 7th place righty. Further behind him, Jacko has made up a position here, and he's in a battle with Alex. And Alex and Jacko, good friends of course. So they will be wasting no time there. Alex racing his own race for points back there in P10, letting Jacko, I'm not saying you let Jacko through, of course, but still that is for position. He's not a lap car as Jacko goes through there. Lovely helmet there from Jacko. That's the famous helmet, and Alex might have another go at him further on as we keep going through the order there. Alex, like we said, in P10. Crumpkin in P11. Wasn't a good qualifying session for him, and it's not turning out to be a good race either in Driving Pro. Already on lap 2 out of 20 here is already 20 seconds behind as we see Big Donga set a fastest lap of a 1:21.8, I think it was, and 1:21.890, I think, as all driving pro there has got a 5-second penalty from race control for speeding in the pit lane. And we might go back to that lead battle as we ride on board with Jason Wilkinson now. And he's just 7 tenths ahead of Big Donga. And boy, this is going to be a ding-dong. I said this would be a ding-dong battle. And you said it as well there, Brad. Donga was probably just a bit too eager off the start. And the cold tyres wouldn't have helped matters as Wilco there. Just, I was looking at another screen, but he just seemed to go off the track. But Big Donga a fair way still behind him. So this race very quickly turning into a 2-horse race tonight. But we are not done with yet. And boy, is that man coming. And I'd be extremely sweaty if I was Wilco at the moment, because we're going to be seeing some extremely spicy stuff further on in the final remaining 17 laps of this race. And Big Dick Johnson currently in P3, and he always flirts with the first part of that final chicane. And then it's Cart Dude right behind him. Is he going to make a move into the first corner? I don't think so. He's a fair way back there. And you can see just left, right, this way, that away. And yes, it is. The drivers are struggling already. As you can see there, HSV a couple of seconds behind Cart Dude, then the Hef. And then we've got the Hef sort of all out on his own, and Righty about 1.1 seconds behind him. And then Jacko, Righty going off onto the grass there. That'll give Jacko the chance to close that gap. And we've got Fubbles into the pits. So Fubbles coming into the pit lane. And we did say that the rules state that if you pitted before lap 3, that does not count to the mandatory pit stop. But Fubbles there, who was running in the top 6 here tonight, just getting that pit stop out of the way early. So it could be a good call for strategy or not. And he shouldn't have to stop again. He's whacked the soft tyres on. And they've got a wear or a range of about 16 to 18 laps. As we can see, Driving Pro there in the last place. But have a look at this. Oh boy, back to the start. He's going to have another go. And Big Donga down the outside. I don't think you're going to get through there, son. Jason holds his line and shuts the door and says, no way, not today. You're not going to get through there, Donga. And it's a real ding-dong at the moment into turn 1. Jason slightly locks up his brakes. Boy, we've got a bird's eye view. And you know the old saying, it's much easier to chase than to lead, as Big Dick Jono and Cart Dude are going at it. So it's not just first and second, it's third and fourth as well. There's a couple of other battles down the field, but we'll get to them in a moment. But look at this. Wilco under all sorts of pressure at the front. My goodness, there's no stopping this man. He is absolutely, he's like a dog with a bone. He is all over the back of Wilco. And this is incredible. And it's on like Donkey Kong at the moment. You're right, Brad. Bold strategy move from Fubbles as well, but he's going to have another crack. Oh, he's gone off the circuit. I don't know about that. I reckon he might have had to have given the place back if indeed he did pass Wilco at that stage. And we might have to stick with this battle, I reckon. Not only is it in our contract here at SRL, we have to show Wilco, of course, Jacko, and a few others there. A few other battles we're going to get to in a second. But I reckon we're going to stick with this one at the moment. Wilco there, just not doing anything he shouldn't, just holding his head. It's good close racing here. And nothing untoward going on. But boy, Big Donga, he's just all over the back of him. And I reckon he's got a better run out of the final corner here. He's going to have a run across the start-finish straight. Look at this. And he takes the lead. So Big Donga has gone past Wilco and leads this race on lap 6 out of 20. And boy, Donga may or may not be running assists, but still all fair there, that move. He got a better run out of the final corner. But don't forget about Wilco, he's not done with yet. As we're seeing some pit stop action, we might just keep scrolling through the order here. And we go down the field, Jacko in P6, coming up to the back of Righty. As Cart Dude there, into the pits and out again. He comes out behind Crumpkin, and HSV as well making a pit stop. And he's dropped a couple of places as there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. We've got a negative Nelly in Sector 2, and it's Big Dick Jono. Big Dick Jono is around. And where is he? He's dropping all the way down the order there. He's down to P6 now, 13 seconds off the lead. And boy, we're going to see the stops, and we'll just flick through the details here. You can see 4 drivers have stopped already in this race. And now we can see which tyre they're on as well. Alex there, P7, Cart Dude P8, Crumpkin in P9, so Cart Dude making light work of Crumpkin after his final stop, and now it'll be up to HSV to get past him ASAP as well. Fubbles in P11, Driving Pro in P12, as into the pits comes our leader. So we've got Big Donga into the pits now, and Wilco's there with him, I think. Yes, Wilco is into the pits now. He does take the lead, of course, but we've got Big Donga into the pits. Here comes Wilco. Off come the soft tyres, the super soft tyres. On go the soft tyres. And that will see him through to the end of the race. And where is this going to feed him out, I hear you ask? He's down to P5 already. But I think that here we go. And he's come out just behind Big Donga. So Crumpkin there, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But it's all about this battle now, as we can change those cameras. So 4th and 5th there after their pit stops. On to the soft tyres. So we've still got Righty, Jacko and Alex going longer on the super soft tyres. And then we've got these two, 4th and 5th for both Donga and Wilco, who are in a net 1st and 2nd as well. And boy, Jacko, look at this. Jacko and Righty dicing for the lead. Both drivers yet to stop, of course. And I beg your pardon, Jacko on the soft tyres. So going for a reverse strategy as they come down to the hairpin. And look at that. Jacko there running a slightly bit wide, leaving the door open for Righty. But Righty now, look at this. He's going to have a good run on him here down the back straight, heading into the final couple of corners in the final part of this lap. And look at that, up to 300 kilometres an hour. And he's passed him and through. But Jacko, is he going to come into the pits? Are either one of them going to come into the pits? No, they are not. And they keep going through. But now Jacko is going to make another move across the line. Lap 8 out of 20 now in this absolutely enthralling race. It's going to be all about who can hold on to their tyres until the end of this race. You're spot on, Bradley Marshall. And hope you're feeling better soon, brother, up there in New South Wales. But now it's Jacko leading from Righty. Righty across the grass there, so a bit of a sloppy lap from Righty. Big Donga there, 619, and it's Jason Wilkinson slightly behind him. But this is the real battle, of course, for the lead, as 1st and 2nd are yet to make their pit stops. But we'll keep flicking through the order there. Cart Dude a few seconds down, so that pit stop working for him, slightly getting the back end of the car out there. And then it's HSV down in P6 at the moment. And then it's Fubbles in P7, Hef in P8, Big Dick Jono in P9 after his spin earlier on in the race. And then it's Alex slotting into P10, holding on to that final points paying position. And then it's Crumpkin and Driving Pro rounding out your top 12 in this race. Lap 8 out of 20. And you can see Jacko there, who's taken a bit of a lead. He's made up a bit of time on Righty. And 3.4 seconds there, as you can see the pit boards coming out. And Jacko could be in with a chance here in this race on the opposite strategy, like we mentioned, starting on the soft tyres. Well mentioned, Brad. You may not be with me in the commentary box officially, but I can tell you you're giving me all sorts of tips and tactics, so much appreciated. As Jacko there donning the famous Jacko helmet. We've seen that one before as Righty comes into the pits. He did get a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he was a bit of a naughty boy. But it's going to be interesting to see how long Jacko can run these tyres for. And we've been told that they've got a range of about 16 or so laps, but indeed he'll be wanting to come in a lot earlier than that. As Big Donga, and in fact Wilco, I beg your pardon, has got past Big Donga. This is incredible. The battle continues, the battle royale. Slight contact there between the two of them. They almost touch. In fact, I think they did. And that was so close to knocking Wilco. And knocking Wilco off the track. Big Donga out braking himself and almost going right up the arse of Wilco again. And he will feel very under pressure at the moment. And let me tell you, let's just have a look there on the stream. So close at the hairpin. And boy, you've just got to pick the right moment, don't you, in this racing. And in these F2 cars, you've got to pick your moment. You cannot just go hammer and tongs. You can't go hardballs all the time. And he's got a good run on him at the moment. But Wilco, we didn't see it. He managed to sneak through. And he is wasting no time at all. Big Donga slightly getting out of shape there out of turns 1 and 2, and that'll give Wilco a chance to sneak away, give him a chance to get some breathing space, as Jacko still sitting pretty out in front there. He's done 9 laps on the soft tyres, and they'll be feeling a little bit worse for wear, you'd think, as there's a bit of a battle going on further down the field now. Alex Mann and Righty, this is for P9, and boy oh boy, Alex there was in P10, now up to P9, so we're trying to keep an eye on all of these battles through the order. I apologise for flicking through the cars so quickly, and Alex is off the track. So he got through, he got ahead of Righty, he did what he needed to do, and then he, well, pretty much made a balls of it actually by going on to the grass there, and yellow flag in sector 2. That could be for, who's off? Somebody might be off. No, we're just going through the order there. HSV in P5, Driving Pro with another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's done that before, so maybe he just needs to check his pit lane speed limiter. As there we look at Fubbles in P6, Hef in P7, Big Dick Jono still in P8. They're all on his own after his spin earlier in the race. Righty in P9, Alex in P10. After that mistake, Crumpkin and Driving Pro now into the pits for a new front wing. As we see there, off comes the old one, on goes the new one. And I don't know whether they're going to put any tyres on that thing. He's come out of the pits, minus a front wing by the looks of it. No, he's got one now. As we head back to the front of the race. And it's Jacko there, 4.3 seconds ahead of Wilco. And, well, he's losing lots and lots of time to Wilco now. You can see there Wilco in P2. As Brad there saying, surprised Donga isn't receiving penalties for not taking the escape road and not going onto the right side of that bollard. And, of course, we're just talking about that corner we went through a moment ago there. In the real-life F1, you've got to go onto the left-hand side of that bollard, I believe, if you do not want to pick up a penalty. As Wilco outbrakes himself, and I reckon Jacko's got a pit soon. And I'm not his race strategy man or his race engineer, but I reckon he's going to have to make a pit stop soon. He's lost a few tenths on this lap with the reverse strategy. Is he coming into the pits? No, he's not. He's electing to stay out. So the gap was 4 seconds or so, and now it's less. It's improved slightly there, but it's just a tick over 3.1 seconds. He'll probably be thinking that he can gain some time while these two are battling. He can sneak away at the front, but Wilco there still holding on to P2, and Big Donga right there with him again. Yellow flags out again. We haven't got time to see what that's all about, because this is the battle we want to see at the moment. Look at this. And surprised that he's still got all the bits and pieces on that car, though, as he has battled right throughout the night with this man, Wilco. And you can see, look at that gap, there's nothing in it. And a few other battles going on down the order, but this is the one we want to stick with at the moment. And, well, very easy to get a penalty here. We saw Brad mentioning on the live stream that it is not difficult to pick up penalties, of course. Down the inside, is he going to make the move stick? I reckon he's going to do it. Look at this, he's gone down the inside, but I reckon he ran a bit wide, and that's going to give Wilco a chance to come back at him down the outside. Look at that, Wilco just with his nose in front there, retakes second position. This is an absolutely epic race here. We're going to stick with this battle at the moment. They are wheel to wheel, side by side, and Big Donga, the last of the late breakers, gets the job done again. But now Wilco, as we ride on board with Wilco, he's going to have another chance at him heading into turn 1. And boy, now they're coming up to Jacko just for good measure. And Jacko on the reverse strategy is going to be on extremely worn soft tyres. You can see there on the graphic in the top left-hand corner of your screen that those tyres have done all 12 laps, of course, of this race. 13 laps now gone out of 20. And boy, that might be a new hashtag, Brad, on the comments there, saying Donga's dive bombs are lethal. They sure are. And we've seen a few of Donga's dive bombs here tonight. But now Jacko, you can see up there in P1. And Jacko, what's he going to do? Oh, down the inside, he's not putting up much of a fight there. As Donga, he's cutting a lot of grass there tonight. But I still don't think, I haven't seen him get a penalty anyway. As Jacko pretty much letting Jason through, is he? I don't think he's going to be able to put up much of a fight either, as Jason Wilkinson comes through there. So Jacko losing time. He's still 3 seconds though. He's in P3 at the moment, still 3 seconds ahead of Cartoon in P4. And I reckon he's going to have to come in soon, although I said that last lap and he kept going. Look at this. Oh boy, this battle just keeps, it's the thing that it just keeps on giving, doesn't it, as Jacko peels off into the pit lane. I'm not sure how long a pit stop will take here, but I think that he might come out still maybe ahead of Bubbles as Wilco down the inside, locks the brakes, goes wide. That could give Big Donga a chance for one of his famous Donga dive bombs. Is he going to have another ding-dong dive bomb? Too many Ds there. And look at this, we've got Big Donga and Big Dick Jono, and plenty of D in this race. And boy, oh boy, I wouldn't be at all comfortable if I was Wilco. Slight contact there. But this is incredible stuff coming through the middle part of the lap. And how good is this? Turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now. Coming up to turns 6 and 7. In fact, 8 and 9, I beg your pardon, before we head to turn 10, which is the hairpin at the end of the lap. And you can see Jacko there has come out in 6th place on the super soft tyres. Oh boy, Donga's dive bomb down the inside. And they're side by side again. Wilco earning his money tonight. Look how close they are. This is unbelievable. And we usually try and ride with the driver behind the other to give you a better view of the battle, of course. And we're going to stick with the onboard cameras. I know Wilco likes them, and so should everybody at home. And boy, everybody watching the stream, this is absolutely intense. And don't forget, we've got another race to come after this one. And look at this, lap 15 out of 25 laps to go until the end of this race. Lap 15 out of 20 there. You can see on your screen, Riney just retiring from the session. So 12 drivers starting this race. And now we're down to just 11 of them, with Driving Pro still running in P12 there. As we might just check on the battles further back, as Big Dick Jono and Jacko there. Big Dick Jono on the 8-lap old soft tyres, getting past, or there's a battle there, I shouldn't say, he hasn't passed him yet. Jacko currently in P7 on the brand new super soft tyres. And like we've commented on, he's been doing the reverse strategy as Jono just locks up a brake there. And I reckon he almost might be through. It was a little bit cheeky there, just not letting Jacko through at all easily. And we just might stick with this one for a little while, but that battle up at the front is still continuing. And we might just go back to that battle at the front. Look at this, Big Donga leads. Wilco in second now. Unbelievable stuff. And I reckon you're right, Brad. Donga just with so much more traction out of the corners there. And yellow flag in sector 2. Now, I'm not sure what that's all about, but we're going to stick with this again. Look at this. It almost seems like Big Donga's quicker for the first half of the lap, and then Wilco comes back at him in the last half of the lap. But this is intense stuff. Both drivers pitting on the same lap, of course. And neither driver has a tyre advantage. So both these drivers have done 9 laps on the soft tyres. In fact, the only driver not on soft tyres is Jacko back there in P7, currently battling for P6 with Jono. And boy, look at this. First, second, third. Cart Dude is out of the race. Not sure if you saw that, Brad, but there was something going on there. Cart Dude has retired from this race. So I'm assuming, there we go, you can see him off to the right-hand side into the wall. So Cart Dude is out of this race. And meanwhile, race control, there's a 3-second time penalty for Crumpkin, who has been a naughty boy cutting some corners. And he's been cutting more corners than an Asian budget airline at the moment as we take a look. Oh my goodness, Wilco is through at the front. And this is amazing. How close has this been? We've seen close, intense racing here tonight, all very clean. Despite Donga's dive bombs, as we like to call them. We've christened them now. And look at this wheel-to-wheel stuff. And Jason has taken the lead back as Hef has also left the session. I think he might have retired a while ago. He might come back. He may or may not come back for race 2. But look at this, right behind him. What a camera angle we're seeing. Lap 17 out of 20. Just 3 laps to go. And Donga, one of Donga's famous dive bombs. And he just can't quite get it done there. But Wilco, a bit of lag there, I think, as well. At least that's how it looked on my screen. But we've seen this all night, that Donga's just had more traction. And he's gone off again there. And this time he's done the right thing and taken to the left-hand side of the bollard. And Cantu not having good luck, you're right there, Brad, tonight. Unfortunate for him, he was on for a good finish. Oh, Wilco just out-braking himself ever so slightly. It doesn't take much through that hairpin. And just a lock of brake, pinch of brake. And Alex with a 3-second time penalty as well for multiple warnings. So we're seeing a lot of drivers actually getting time penalties now for corner cutting. Wilco. And Big Donga, look out, you are spot on, Brad. Big Donga has just received a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting down the inside now. A man with nothing to lose. So now with 2 laps to go until the end of this one, he's got to get ahead of Jason and indeed try and just scoot off down the road to get a gap of more than 3 seconds if he is going to win this race here tonight. And meanwhile, as we quickly go through the order while this battle's still going on, Fubbles up into P3, so the early pit stop working for him. I think he pitted on lap 4 from memory. HSV there in P4. Big Dick Jono still holding off Jacko there, P5 and P6. And if Jacko thought he could whack the super soft tyres on and just scoot through the field, he has got another thing coming, because Big Dick Jono, a pretty handy peddler himself, has kept him at bay. Crumpkin there, Alex in P8, the Hef in P9 on the super soft tyres. And then it's Driving Pro just rounding out your top 10. But this is the battle. This is where it's at. And it was only a matter of time, with everyone being caught out by going wide, that these penalties would start. You are spot on again, boy. Two great minds think alike. Our man Bradley Marshall up and about on the comments section, as we've got some lap traffic coming up further down the road. I'm not sure who that is, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. As look at this, just 2 tenths between them at the moment. And of course, we saw on the race control, Big Donga, with the man famous for the famous Donga dive bomb, has got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And so that will give Jason the victory. And we've seen penalties here before, haven't we? Who could forget Sebastian Vettel losing the race? He had a 5-second penalty, didn't he? And Hamilton, oh, look at that. Unbelievable there. Wilco just pretty much saying, get out of the way. And he's saying that to a Driving Pro as well, who's down there in P10. But look at that, Big Donga is through. And, well, let's just set the scene. We've got 1 and a bit laps to go until the end of this run. And Big Dick Jono has retired. Big Dick Jono has retired from this race. Whether it was contact with Jacko, I'm not too sure. But Jacko is up into P5. But now Wilco, he's just got to stay within 3 seconds of the man right in front of him, being Big Donga 619, to win this race. And we're on the penultimate lap of this one. But if I know Wilco like I do know Wilco, I reckon he's going to be a man who's going to want to get this pass done on the track. And he doesn't want to send it to the steward's room. And here we go then, final lap of this race, lap 20 down the inside. Wilco says, I'll have some of that, please. Runs slightly wide and there's contact. Oh my goodness, what are we doing on this? I was just looking at Fubbles there, who's all on his own in P3, but this battle is where it's at. Wilco getting the pass done on the track and not worrying about the steward's room. But Big Donga there, not one to go quietly. Are we going to see another Donga dive bomb? Down the outside, Jason locks the wheel. We're going to stick. Oh, he's around. Donga is around, and that could be enough until that could be enough for Wilco to win this race. But what an intense battle. And Brad doesn't reckon Jason will be too happy with that move, being pushed off the corner. But, well, Big Donga now is further down. He's in P2. He's a few seconds off of Wilco in P1. But I reckon that is going to be all she wrote as we take a look at Wilco. Gets the back end of the car out. But he is going to win this race here tonight. The first of 2 races, of course. He's going to win the F2 feature race here for the first of the practice rounds at SRL. But what a battle we've seen. What an epic race from Wilco and Big Donga as he comes through the final couple of corners. Onto the main straight, across the start-finish line. It's Jason Wilkinson who wins the first F2 race here tonight. And he takes victory, pole position and race win as well. And there is your winner, the man on your screen up ahead there. Big Donga finishing second after an intense battle with that man, our race winner tonight. And there we go, Spy 2 WAY Fubbles, aka Fubbles, finishing in P3. Then it's HSV coming across the line in P4 ahead of Jacko. The reverse strategy getting him 5th position, or 4th position I should say. He's jumped up ahead of HSV, who must have had a penalty. And boy, he's just finished a fraction ahead. 33.1, so about 0.2 of a second ahead of HSV. So a good result there in the end from Jacko, who was trying the reverse strategy ahead of HSV. Crumpkin now coming down the main straight, P6 for him. And not a bad result for a man who crashed in the qualifying session. And he's coming across the line through the last couple of corners. And he'll finish in P6 after a good battle with Alex Mann, who's in P7, and Hef a lap behind as he goes through Driving Pro. But that is the end of the session for Hef at least, and we have a winner. And Wilco there wanting an invite to the party. Just Big Donga and himself gets in there, Lewis. And here we go. We see them on the podium. We'll just watch our drivers on the podium, Wilco, and then we'll get you into the session. You can see there Wilco, sponsored by KFC. And it's time for a 2-piece feed or maybe a zinger box, because there is your winner. And as he just gets the champagne from Big Donga, who just kept going with the famous Big Donga dive bombs all evening in this opening race. And ahead of Fubbles there in P3, who was well down the field, but still finished in P3, as we might just invite Wilco into the party. And I do apologise, we can see the final results there on your screen, but I'll just invite Wilco into the party. And we're just going to invite some players at the moment. I do apologise if you're seeing the big screen of death, the blue screen of death, I should say. And we're going to invite Wilco into the party. He's got an invite, so he can't complain. As we look at the final race results on your screen there. Wilco taking the win in the end, but not the Grand Slam. Big Donga getting the fastest lap and finishing in P2. And then it's Fubbles in P3. Jacko, good result for him in P4 on his return to racing here tonight. HSV in P5, Crumpkin in P6, Alex in P7, the Hef in P8. Big Dick Jono after that incident earlier in the race, finishing in P9. P10 for Driving Pro, Cartoon and Righty not finishing the race, as I'm not a friend with Big Donga. So I might just, I think, Jason, are you there in the party? Mate, what a race, what a battle, and I'm not sure whether I need to invite, do I need to invite Big Donga in? Or?
Yeah, invite him. We don't have much time, but invite him.
Yep, I don't know whether I'm friends with him.
Hey? I suggested him, so you should be able to go.
All right, here we go. How good is this? Invite players, suggested players, and then the man himself, Big Donga 619. Mate, before the next race, I know we haven't got much time, but what a battle that was. 20 laps, and you couldn't really rest for any one of those 20 laps, could you?
Yeah, that was crazy. We got a formation up here, but yeah, that was crazy racing. We got a bit aggressive towards the end, but it was good.
Now, Big Donga, are you there, mate?
Yeah, I'm here.
Now, what a race that was, mate. I know it was a bit crazy. I know that things got a little bit too close for comfort there in the final few laps, but mate, a quick comment from that first epic race from your perspective.
Oh, it's been a while since I've had, a battle like that with someone. Absolutely stoked to have, a race with Jason like that, so close the whole time. Really happy with the result, even though we did get the penalty and did lose it at the end. But yeah, stoked with the result, and let's see how we go in this next race.
Awesome stuff. Don't forget another 14 laps. We've got that was the feature race that you just saw, and we've got the sprint race coming up with the grid set by the results of race 1. So we're going to see those two boys currently in the party having a charge through the field. And we've got to say, if you're still there, Big Donga, we christened you. We've given him a new name, Wilco. We just had the famous, during the race, it was actually, I've got to give full credit to Brad Marshall, who, well, he sort of said it and then I kind of took it from there, but we christened, every time we saw one of your moves, we called it the famous Big Donga Dive Bomb. And we sort of stuck with that throughout the course of the stream. So every time we knew it was coming, we just kept saying, here comes another one of those famous Big Donga Dive Bombs, mate. So you've had an impact already. It's your first race, but you've had a profound impact on us here in the commentary box.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm going to jump out of the party for the race, and I hope you'll speak to you after.
Catch us after.
Good stuff. Send me a friend request so it's a little bit easier next time. But Wilco?
Will do.
Yeah.
Talk to you in a bit, guys. Good luck.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. Well, geez, he sent me a request. He sent me a friend request already. I wasn't expecting it that quick. But I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm seeing cars line up as Wilco has left the party, the formation lap. And what is going on here? I'm seeing Hef there, it says he's in P1, but he's still in the pits. And Brad just saying, cart dude, reckons he fell asleep. But anyway, enough about that. Here we go, we're getting ready. We've done one race, now it's time for two. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's go, go, go for the sprint race here in the F2 cars on F1 2019. And it's Alex, of course, reverse grid for this race. It's Alex, HSV, Crumpkin. And thank you, Hef, no longer in the session, Brad, of course. That's why I couldn't see him. But look at this, Alex. And then it's Crumpkin in P2. Look at this reverse grid, of course. HSV there, P3. Fubbles in P4. Then El Majacko, Big Dick, Big Donga, Big Dick. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting those two bloody mixed up, for Christ's sake. Big Donga and Big Dick Jono. Somebody's around. I think it's Crumpkin, who is off the track. Enough for him. Sayonara, indeed. Driving Pro in P10. Crumpkin trying to get it back facing in the right direction. Hef's left the session, but it's Alex Man who leads this race. Look at that. Ahead of HSV. Oh, come on, Alex, let me go. Like, we're both friends, you know, in real life, and we both live in Parramatta, so here we go, HSV in P2. And, boy, that's going to be spicy. Oh, boy, side by side. Get out of here, HSV. You can't do that sort of stuff. But HSV says, I'm going to do it anyway, kid buyers. And Alex just slotting into P2 there. And 2 New South Welshmen going at it, hammer and tongs. HSV pinching a brake, Crofty, but still Bubbles in P3 there, moving right along. Not sure what you're going on about, kid buyers. Fastest lap for HSV with a 129.9. Oh, down the inside, Jacko, if you don't mind. Look at that. What action we're seeing here tonight in both races. And Fubbles just sends Jacko a little bit wide, but Jacko sticking with it. And down the inside now, Big Donga for size. Just gets around the 2 of them. He says, piss off. I'm getting up into 3rd position. And is that Wilco? No, it's the 2 Big Dongas, Big Donga and Big Dick, both going at it around the outside in a frantic opening lap of this race. Well, indeed. Wilco there, P6, right up behind Jacko in P5. Who's that? Big Dick Jono trying a Big Dick dive bomb there. Big Dick Jono. And boy, you are spot on, Bradley Marshall. It's going to be carnage with this reverse grid, and 14 laps on 1 set of tyres. We'll be sure to catch drivers out, of course. And boy, I miss you, Brad, but I love you. In fact, I'm going to send a little love heart through on the stream if I can just find where the keyboard is. Here we go. I'm going to send a quick love heart through to you. And because it's frantic here, the action tonight. So let's just recap what's going on here in this race. There we go, the man on your screen, Dean McKinnon in P1. And then there's a bit of a trolley train behind Alex in P2. And Big Donga going past Alex, the 2 teammates there like he was standing still. But it's Big Donga then getting through the field much quicker than Jason, who's still down there in P6. And Brad, love you too, man. Plenty of love here in this stream, but no love lost in this race tonight. The second race, Righty with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh boy, it's so quick, I can barely keep up. As Big Donga now off in pursuit of HSV. Then it's Alex. Then it's Fubbles right up behind Alex. Then it's El Majacco and Wilco. Like we said, one race, one set of tyres. A yellow flag in Sector 3. I'm not too sure who that is, but Big Dick Jono. Look at this. We've got 7th, 8th, 9th. Righty there, a fair way behind. He's got another penalty for corner cutting. And Crumpkin in P10 further back, driving pro. Already a minute behind, and we're only on lap 3 of this race. Hef still in the garage there. But let's have a look. We'll stick with our leader, HSV. The man from Padstow, I think it was. Or that might not even be a place. I'm not too sure. As Big Shep. Big Shep's joined us. Go hard, Big Dick at Sinbad's for a second session. And Shep, it's great to have your company with us here tonight. And Big Shep, good friends with Wilco, of course, and a regular viewer to this live stream. And Shep, I know you're out there watching, brother, but just make sure you've subscribed to the Kid Buyers channel, and that is a mandatory thing for everybody watching this live stream. But we do love you, Big Shep. And it's great to have your company tonight. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Alan Shep, of course, who, as we see Driving Pro getting out of the way there, but Shep, the man, who is a comic genius, that man, just getting some more funny stuff in as we ride on board with HSV. And you can see there, Fubbles up to P2, Alex now down to P3. And he's like a cork out of a bottle, as the great Murray Walker used to say. Just look at him. And Wilco, oh boy, 3-second time penalty for Wilco for the great man Jason Wilkinson. Your man Shep has got a 3-second time penalty, and he's not going to be too happy about that. The man who won the first race, he got pole position, he won the race. Didn't quite get the fastest lap. I think that went to Big Donga in the end. But here we go, Cart Dude and Wilco. Look at this, side by side. We stick together. And Big Shep will know what I'm talking about. The glorious Collingwood Magpies, of course. As look at that, Wilco is through, and he knows that he needs to get a move on if he's going to make up for that penalty. But Cart Dude is going to have a cheeky little go. Is he down the inside? No. He just can't quite get the job done. Wilco going a little bit deep through turns 1 and 2, like he has throughout the evening, but still managing to get the job done. We saw a penalty there for Big Dick Jono, and Jacko's fallen further back. I'm not too sure what happened to him either, but something must have happened there. And we're just going to see the tyres. We've got the tyres there on your screen. 4 laps for everybody, of course, all starting on the same tyre. And they've got to get through the 14 laps of this race on the soft tyre. And lap 5 out of 14. 5 laps gone, 9 laps to go. And we'll keep going through the order. Crumpkin and Big Donga has fallen down the field as well. So I've missed something somewhere along the line. We've got a few drivers further back down the order. Righty in P10, Driving Pro in P11. And then it's Hef in P8. But still, HSV leading this reverse grid race. And here we go, Wilco now up to P3. So he's got ahead of Alex. And Cart Dude further behind him. Look at this, we're going to ride on board with these guys at the moment. Alex falling further down the order. He started in P1, I think, and now he's down to P4. Cheeky little possible corner cut. But poor Cart Dude, he's just in all sorts of trouble. The penalties, you're right, Brad. The penalties coming thick and fast, which is ironic considering it's a sprint race, of course. Yellow flag's out again. And oh, Cart Dude just managing to collect it up the rear end, stepping out. But he maintains 5th position. Just behind Alex here, who's a bit of a roadblock at the moment. He won't like me saying that, the man from Parramatta. But Wilco then up to P3. He's off in pursuit of Fubbles. Fubbles in P2. And we can see HSV now. All of this is giving a chance for HSV to stretch that lead out at the front. And boy, oh boy. And you can see 2.4 seconds now, the gap between first and second. And HSV enjoying every minute of this, that gap staying steady. But we've still got 8 laps to go in this race. And I reckon Wilco needs to get past Fubbles ASAP if he's going to have a chance to make any inroads on HSV at the front. But there we go. You're right, Fubbles having a very solid performance, Brad. And great to have you all. Oh, look at that. Fubbles getting it all mixed up and hitting the famous wall of champions. And it looked to me like he lost a front wing end plate there as Big Dick Jono spinning in the pit lane. Wilco getting out of shape there again through turns 1 and 2. And he's off in pursuit of HSV as we can see some traffic further up ahead for Dino. I'm not too sure who it was, but look at that. So Fubbles getting it all wrong out of that corner, and now his teammate only a couple seconds further behind him. Alex now down to 5th. Then Jacko in P6. He must have run into some issues. And typical commentator's curse, all right. Just as you give them a rap, they'll let you down every time. As the famous Dennis Cometti used to say, you give them a rap and they'll let you down every time. And I've got a bit of the flu at the moment still. I'm still getting over a bit of a bug, but not quite as bad as what you've got at Brad. But anyway, I'm still getting over it. Look at this. Big Donger, who's just got enough pace to still stick with Crumpkin in P7 despite his earlier incidents. It's Big Donger and Big Dog in P8 and P9, Righty in P10 with the final points paying position. Then it's Driving Pro. And he was the man who was a lap down, and Hef still in that pit lane. But the gap now closing. Look at this. It was 2.3 seconds. Now it's 1.2 seconds. And Wilco will need to clear this traffic ASAP. Driving Pro will be seeing blue flags. Blue flag, blue flag, blue flag, blue flag. Come on, blue flag. And Driving Pro getting well out of the way there. As we take a look at Fubbles now after that incident, he's lost a bit of his front wing end plate. I think we might be able to see it. You can see there that right front wing end plate. Try saying that after a sherry or two is missing from his car. So he'll be losing all sorts of downforce. And don't forget Cart Dude breathing down his neck. And then, like we said, Alex, HSV, still in P1. Then it's Jacko, P6. Big Donger in P7. Crumpkin in P8. And Brad there. As we keep flicking through the order, Big Dick Jono rounding out your top 10 now. Driving Pro is the resident Robert Kubica. That's a little bit harsh, isn't it? But I see where you're coming from. I was going to say Pierre Gasly, but it's been a good week for Pierre. We don't want to offend him even more. And Hef not in this race, still just mixing with the ladies in the paddock club there. The champagne you can see in the windows there. There's Hef. I think I can see him. Third from the left. But anyway, we'll get enough about that. It's HSV now with Wilco all over him almost. And boy, as I nearly ripped the microphone input out of the PlayStation, that's how excited I'm getting. And Wilco is gonna he's got a 3-second penalty, of course. And Jimmy Zachman is back. He's back with us. And call him Zach, I think. And he said, Brad just saying to Pierre, that would be a compliment, as Jacko picks up a 3-second time penalty. But we've got the Jimmy back. Zach, who's the English tourist who's holidaying in Turkey, I think, if I'm not very much mistaken. Oh my goodness, I've missed something. Someone's gone off. Let's just flick through the order. I was looking at the other screen. I'm not sure who that was, but now look at this. The gap just 1.3 seconds. And in fact, it stayed at 1.3 seconds. It was Big Dick Jono, who's no longer in this race. And he has now left the session. And as soon as we talk about a commentator's curse, but we might have a viewer's curse, because as soon as Zach's joined the party and joined the show, he says somebody's finally retired. So 12 drivers, or 11 drivers, started this race, I should say. And now we've only got 10 left in this race. And Driving Pro 2 laps down. So it'll be a while before he can catch him. But we've got 5 laps to go until the end of this race. And boy, oh boy, that gap is just 0.7 of a second between P1 and P2. And don't forget that Wilco, the man we're riding on board with, has a corner cutting penalty, I believe. But so is HSV now. So this is a straight fight. Both drivers with penalties, of course. And you can see there 9 laps on these soft tyres in this second of the 2 races tonight. The sprint race, reverse grid, of course, 14 laps, no pit stop, no mandatory pit stop. But the tyre wear always crucial, as Zach is back in London. And after holidaying in Turkey, still summer over there in the good old UK. but it's a little bit chilly here, Brad. You're not Brad, you're Zach. But Brad just saying we missed the halfway point of the race. Oh no! And usually for anyone who's new to the Kit Buyers live stream every Thursday night, first of all, hello to you and welcome, and don't forget to subscribe. But usually when we get to the halfway point of the race, I talk like Murray Walker and I say half the race gone and half still to go. But look at this. Forget about Murray Walker. No, just joking. The great man. God bless him. But look at this. First and second, both drivers with 3-second penalties in this race. But is Wilco going to have a go? He's going to go this way and that way. HSV. Oh, that looked a little bit Max Verstappen to me. But was he moving in the braking zone there still? HSV maintaining the lead across the line then. Lap 11 now out of 14. Just 3 laps to go. And Zach saying it was raining when I went to when I arrived at the airport. And it's on like Donkey Kong again at the front. Zach, great to have your company all the way from the UK. And how good is this? And you've joined us at the right time, Zach. You'll have to go back into the live stream, my friend, because you missed an epic battle for the first race. Wilco going right up the arse of HSV and Dean. Oh, I'm not really happy with that. Like, I just got punted up the arse. No, he won't be happy with that. The man from New South Wales using every bit of track. All the time you need to leave it a space. All the time you need to leave it a space. That's what Wilco will be screaming in that cockpit of his. And these F2 cars, absolutely amazing. I love every second of this as Wilco locking the tyres yet again. There's a battle down for third and fourth. The two teammates going at it. Look at this. Riding on board now with Cart Dude. And Fubbles keeping the first position, but will stick with this lead battle as Wilco. He tried the inside on the last lap, and now he tries the outside, and he's going to get the job done, and he is through and past HSV for the lead of this race. What an epic couple of races we've seen. And you're right, Brad. Dean defending like Magnussen. A little bit of K-Mag, if you don't mind. Oh, Dino, you can't do that. Bugger off. That is not what you need to be doing. And Big Donga has a 3-second time penalty, but they're all getting penalties at the moment. And now HSV gets a good run out of that corner, and he's got a chance at passing Wilco. Is he going to do it here? He's going to go around the outside. He locks the brakes, and he's through. Look at this, side by side. Dean leads this race again. This is for position, of course, with both drivers having penalties in this race. So it's Dean ahead of Wilco, and Fubble staying ahead of Cart Dude. But look at this, and I know I'm using the onboard footage a fair bit tonight, but this is the best viewpoint in this offset T-cam. It's HSV P1, Wilco just 0.2 of a second behind him in P2, and we've just got 2 laps to go until the end of this race. Dean moves across. That looked pretty fair, but Wilco says, okay then, try this one on for size, and he gets the job done again. And the lead changes again, so it's Wilco back into the lead now with just 2 laps to go, like I said, until the end of this one. And what better to watch? Nothing better than watching a battle such as this, Zach, when you got your fortnight update not moving. And I thought they had good internet in the UK. As I start to lose my voice, I do apologise. I'm just coming off the back of a nasty flu bug. Coming into the race tonight. But look at that penultimate lap of this race then. Wilco is through, but is that going to be all that Dean can muster? He's a second and a bit behind now. And Dean's tyres, I reckon they're going to fall off the cliff, and Brad agrees with me. Just saying, Dean's tyres look like they're about to fall off the cliff. In fact, they haven't already. We can't see tyre wear in this spectator mode. We might just keep flicking through the orders. I reckon Wilco's sitting pretty out front at the moment. And then it's Fubbles there, still holding off Cart Dude, his teammate, after getting that damage in the Wall of Champions. And it's Elmer Jacko, who runs a little bit wide at the hairpin there. Then it's Alex, who's just entered the track again. Big Donga right behind him. So Big Donga, I tell you what, Big Donga there not showing the, he's still showing the pace, but he's had a bit of an incident-filled race. Better than what he had in the first one, of course. And then it's Crumpkin in P8. Righty in P9. Driving Pro 2 laps down in P10. Big Dick Jono is out of this race. He crashed out, of course. And then the Hef's still up there in the paddock club. And we've seen a move there, I reckon. Big Dick Jono, Big Donger, I beg your pardon. No, Big Dick Jono's not in this race anymore, of course. And he's made a move on his teammate Alex. It was always going to happen. So Alex now down to P7. Has he got any fight left, any juice left in the tank? And Fortnite just still loading there. Zach, all the best with that. And I swear there's a Fortnite update every single time you log onto your PlayStation. But Crumpkin in P8, like I mentioned. Righty P9, Driving Pro rounding out the points finishes in P10. As we take a look now at Wilco on his final lap of this race. Just the hairpin, the back straight, the chicane and the wall of champions to negotiate between Jason Wilkinson and victory in the second race here tonight. He took pole position in race 1 and the victory in the opening race here tonight, and he's going to do the same in the second race after a battle with Big Donger in race 1, then a battle with HSV in race 2. It's that man, Jason Wilkinson, taking a victory for a clean sweep here tonight in the opening round of the SRL practice races for the F2 cars. And what a result, the perfect result you might say for that man Jason Wilkinson taking victory here tonight. And depending on penalties, we'll see whether Fubbles can take P2. No, he comes across the line. And 3.1 seconds. So HSV has finished in P2 at the end of this race, ahead of Fubbles in P3. Then Cartoon in P4. Jacko taking P5 here tonight. Big Donger taking P6 ahead of his teammate Alex. And then it's Crumpkin Righty Driving Pro, like we said, rounding out the top 10 finishes. And he would have finished that race because he was 2 laps down. But it's the man on your screen tasting victory. Back-to-back victories here tonight for Jason Wilkinson. And Wilco saying, I missed the start because I was stuck getting out of the party. Well, I guess after a result like that tonight, you can take Shep, you can take Simba, and anyone else you want to, brother, because you'll be heading back into a party tonight after the perfect result. Look at that, the fist pump, the finger. It's all happening. First in race 1 and first in the race 2. And Jimmy, Zach saying, winner be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. As we see the top 3 finishes. Wilco undefeated in the F2 stuff here tonight. You're spot on, Brad. As we see your top 3 finishes, and now it's time for the champagne. And I'm so sorry I did that. I'm not too sure what I was thinking there, but there are your final results. You know how that song usually sounds on the F1 podium, the champagne song. As Wilco there, back-to-back victories, undefeated, I should say, in the F2 races tonight, ahead of HSV in P2. Good result for him in the reverse grid sprint race here tonight. Fubbles in P3, holding off his teammate in P4. Jacko in P5. And Big Donger there in P6. Alex in P7. Crumpkin in P8. Righty finishing in P9. And Driving Pro 2 laps down in P10, taking the final point. I beg your pardon. No, the points only go down to 8th. And Big Dick Jono retiring from this race. As that's right, Zach. KFC, the main sponsor. And I reckon our race winner will be heading down there for a big family feast tonight, as he's good enough to join us in the party. Wilco, are you there, brother?
I am there.
You certainly are.
That was crazy.
It certainly was crazy. As I need to invite our man back to the party. Invite players, viewer suggested players, and Fubbles, and whoever the other guy. Oh, no, that is Fubbles, of course. Dino. Yep, I might have to invite Dean, as I do apologise for the old blue screen of death. But there we go.
There we go. There's Shudmeister.
as Fubbles has joined the party, but we might start with our race winner. And, well, Wilco, talk us through it, mate. 2 race wins, but it wasn't easy, mate. You had to earn we had to earn both of them tonight.
Yeah, I missed the start because I was trying to get back in my party with Righty, and I had just a screen sort of froze, and I heard you in the background on my phone saying, "It's go, go, go." I'm like, I'm not even on the game, so I think someone ran at my butt, but yeah, that was good fun. I got a penalty, someone was in the middle of the track, and I think it was like me, Jono and Brody all had to cut it, and I got a 3-second penalty. I was like, oh no, but then had a ripper battle with Dean. DRS is so strong, so it was just enough to get past. He did try and squeeze me a little bit and almost hit the wall, but no, it's good fun. He's not going to jump in the party. He's got stuff to do. He's got to go to work or something.
Was that Dean?
Yeah.
Well, we can always get him in the party. No,
So
I
Dean,
won't.
how was your race tonight, mate?
Oh, look, I had a really good race. You know, like, I think Jason was being a bit of a dick, but
No, I won't trouble people with that. But I tell you what I will do, as Zach just saying, I'm dying from the blue wall of death. I'm sorry about that. We will get back on our OBS in the not too distant future. Plenty of love on the stream. Plenty of love on the stream. And Brad saying, "Do it. I love you, mate." I'm not sure why I'm talking like Toto Wolff as Team Radio. Go, Jason.
I've got to dedicate my win to Brad, who's been in hospital 2 nights ago, and also Jacob, who's not watching. But yeah, so they told me I had to dedicate the win. I'm just taking the piss, but there you go, boys.
Okay.
Carry on.
There we go, dedicating the win to that man Bradley Marshall, my co-commentator from last week, who should be back in the commentary box next Thursday night, as Zach is just typing some random shit on the stream. But anyway, enough about that, as I think, have we got Fubbles there on the live stream? Yep. Fubbles, come in. Hello, brother. Talk us through that 3rd position, mate. We saw you go into the Wall of Champions when you were battling with Jason, and you seemed to lose, I think it was your right front wing end plate. How did that affect the downforce, mate, and the battle in the final laps with your teammate?
Bubs, you're not coming through. Just quickly, just allow your voice to be shared before you say. No, I'll just check them. So sorry to cut in, but we'd have heard nothing from it.
You've got 15. I don't know.
Party
We've got
settings.
time. Yep. Sorry. Carry on.
And then allow your voice to be shared. Always allow.
Okay, yeah, because this is
Yeah. There you go.
the first time I've been on a new account.
Yeah.
Well, this man.
Continue.
I was about to say this man doesn't finish on the podium very much. If he doesn't Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah. I did lose quite a bit of cornering speed. Like my lap times did drop quite a bit because of like the cornering, and like because I ran a low downforce setup, it was kind of hard around the slower corners. But I don't think it was that bad because I was able to make up the time on the straights quite easily.
Well, still, you managed to. Did you have any trouble holding off your teammate there? We saw Cart Dude
yes.
had a couple of goes at you, mate, going into the hairpin. Was it difficult to hold him off in the final laps?
Yeah, we got very, very close. And the hairpin at the 3rd corner, like, yeah, I don't even know how we avoided contact, because if it was Project Cars, like, we probably would have bumped each other. But on the last lap, he made a really, really late dive, and he made me go really wide, and I went in the wall, but I didn't get any damage, but he did drop back so I could get my position.
Well, that's still, mate, a good result. Like we said, you had some difficulties there at the midway point of the race. You also had a good battle with your teammate, but still P3, mate. You got to be happy with that, and hopefully we can see you again next week.
Yeah. I think that I got damage with that wing because I was just way too deep into the last chicane, and I had to compromise my line, which set me into the wall. And yeah, with Jason bearing down on you, it's not easy to keep the pace.
No, it's never easy, mate. But still, like we said, you kept it all together, and despite missing a few bits and pieces, you go.
Yeah, I was expecting it to go much worse. but I didn't. So it's been a while since
Jesus.
I've been on the podium. But
Sorry.
to do it twice in both the races today, I think that's a good result considering how bad things were in the previous Project Cars season.
Yeah, no doubt, mate. Well, congratulations tonight. Good result in the end, mate. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching.
And big thank you to you, Fubbles. And yeah, big thank you to everybody for watching tonight. I believe we've got some Formula One action back next week, if I'm not mistaken, Wilco.
Yes,
Yep.
Formula One cars. We're going to go the official cars and not the multiplayer car. Next week at Silverstone, so short quali and 50% race.
Awesome.
It should be good.
At the home of Formula One, technically, at Silverstone, of course. So don't forget to join us for that. Well, I've just about lost my voice, and we're just about out of time. We've seen two epic races in the F2 cars here tonight. Wonderfully close, competitive racing, all very clean and all very fair, of course, as well for the majority of it. And it was that man, currently still in the party, Jason Wilkinson, pole position in race one, taking victory in race one and then backing it up after another battle with Dean to get victory in race number two. Big thank you to everyone for joining us as well each and every week on the live stream. Like I always say, we love each and every one of you. Zach, Brad, and everybody else who joined in. Zach saying, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." Just getting a little bit up and about on the stream. And over there in the UK. Thanks for joining in all the way from the glorious UK. And we're just about out of time, like I mentioned. Don't forget, F1 cars are back next week at Silverstone. But until then, it's bye for now. Be kind to one another. We'll see you soon.
If you